So after a long heated debate in my own brain about if I actually want to have hope for the Charlotte Hornets this year or if I'm, just preparing myself for yet another disappointing season, I finally came to the conclusion that MJ, on his way out, has put together a decent team. Brandon Miller over Scoot Henderson is not what I wanted, but we will definitely take Brandon Miller. He is a very valuable archetype in this version of the NBA at 6'9", really can shoot it. We'll talk about him later in depth, though. Also got Nick Smith Jr. late in the first round, so that kind of makes up for it a little bit. Get a full year of LaMelo Ball and, give him another weapon to pass to. It almost feels like LaMelo is the quarterback of an NFL offense at this point. But I think the Hornets, if we're going to make the playoffs, this is our year. So make sure you stick around for the full video because I'm going to tell you why. Also make sure to like button and leave me a comment down below. And odds are you're not subscribed to the channel, so go ahead and fix that real quick. About 97% of my audience is not subscribed. We need to change that. We're trying to hit 10K by the time the season starts, so help us out with that. Just hit that subscribe button. It'll take you like 5 seconds. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started looking at this draft pick. And like I said, it's really growing on me. 18.8 points a game and 8.2 rebounds at college last year for Alabama. Brandon Miller was a dog. Now, of course, he does have the legal issues. That was really the only downside other than his rough March Madness run where, the defense, you can't play an NBA style of basketball in March Madness. It's just two completely different things. But like I said, he's a very valuable archetype at 6'9" and can really shoot it. He brings another outside scorer, which is something I think we can really, really use. With Melo and Brandon Miller going to be the outside scorers while Miles Bridges, you see the efficiency. He shot at almost 60% from two-point range in his breakout season a couple of years ago. So I think we're going to have a nice combination. You throw in Mark Williams on the interior as well. I think it's going to be really nice. But we'll get to that later in the video. And then we have the former number 1 overall recruit in Nick Smith Jr. I honestly see a lot of similarities between Nick Smith Jr. and Jaden Hardy. It makes you feel better about not getting Scoot, first of all. And second off, injuries kind of derailed his top 3 pick candidate, but at the beginning of the year, he was a projected top 3 pick. This is a guy that I feel like is going to really shock some people. He's going to be a steal at number 27, and he already shows you what he could do a little bit in the summer league, going shot for shot with Shadon Sharp, the number 7 overall pick in last year's draft. He's a dog. I probably said his name wrong again. Y'all are probably already typing comments about how I said his name wrong. But James Najee, Amari Bailey, also late second round, or not late, they were technically early second round picks, but later on in the draft. I think those will be good picks as well down the line. I think both of those guys, at some point can contribute rotation minutes, and that's really all you ask for out of second-round picks, unless you're the Nuggets picking 41st overall. Now, Miles Bridges will be an unrestricted free agent next season. That is one of the big-time mistakes I feel like we made this offseason. However, I can understand not wanting to give him a long-term contract after everything that happened. 20.2 points, 7 rebounds, 3.8 assists. I felt like this would be a year we could try and get him for much, much less than he's worth. 49% from the field, 33% from 3, a steal, a block. But unfortunately, his camp wanted a large, long-term deal. So hopefully we can get that hammered out here in the future, because we cannot be losing Miles Bridges for nothing. You see there's 60% from two-point range, 80% from the free throw line. And like I said, interior presence, he's going to score inside. He and Mark Williams will be our 2 inside scorers, while LaMelo, he can score inside, but he takes about 11 threes per game. So he's more of a perimeter guy. Same thing with Brandon Miller. And I'm not opposed to that. I feel like both of those guys, they deserve to be shooting their threes. Now, it could work. Okay, you look at the cap table here, with Gordon Hayward going off the books after next season, LaMelo Ball's extension kicking in after next season, that kind of hurts. Rozier will probably have to be on the way out the door. We've still got Cody Martin on a solid deal. James Bouknight will probably be gone by then. Mark Williams is still on his rookie contract. But the Bridges extension, the P.J. Washington extension, I'm expecting PJ to be back on the qualifying deal. Both of those extensions will have to go in next season. PJ, I'm hoping somewhere in the neighborhood of $15 to $20 million if he has a solid season next year. And then Miles, probably in the neighborhood of $25 to $30 million, if we're being honest. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I think it could work. And I still don't understand why Kelly Oubre Jr. is expected to walk. He hasn't been signed by anybody yet. So if anything, just give him a 1+1 deal for about $15 million a year, kind of like we did with his last contract. it could work out. The dude just averaged 20 points and 5.5 rebounds a game. Now, I know that was inflated because he got large amounts of usage, large amounts of minutes because of the fact that the Hornets were simply terrible last year. But 43% from the field, 32% from three, 1.4 steals. He is a solid 3-and-D wing to have around. I don't know how it could hurt us to bring him back. Now, our other free agents, Dennis Smith Jr., gone, unfortunately. We actually offered more money than the Brooklyn Nets, but the Nets, I guess he saw a bigger opportunity to go out and get some PT, so he decided to dip on us. 9 points, 5 rebounds, and some good defense off the bench last year for Dennis. Kind of stinks because I had him penciled in as our backup point guard. I guess that role now falls to Theo Maledon to be the backup point guard. So, I'm cool with that. Or maybe we just play LaMelo 48 minutes a game. Wouldn't mind that either. He'd definitely get hurt by the 5th game of the season, though. And then P.J. Washington, 15.5 points, about 5 rebounds as well. Very versatile defender. And he can really shoot it from it wasn't as good from 3 last year, 35%. But in the past, it has been solid. Definitely a streaky shooter for sure, though. Like I said, we have so many guards. If Dennis Smith would have stayed, this would have been the guard rotation. Now I'm guessing you can just swap out Dennis Smith Jr. with Theo Maledon, and it can be the exact same thing, but with so many young guards. Bouknight is looking like it's going to be on the way out. Unfortunately, he will probably turn into the second version of Malik Monk, where it just turns into an NBA All-Star after he leaves Charlotte. Bryce McGowan's could be good, and then you got the 2 rookies there that are, they're rookies. Amari Bailey will definitely spend the whole season in the G League. Maybe Nick Smith Jr. These are the starting guards. Unless you're counting Cody Martin as a small forward, he is also a guard. Kelly Oubre Jr. is a guard. Hopefully we can get him back on I'd love to get him back on a little sneaky contract there. But as for the lineups next year, we referenced this earlier. We're going to have, 3 20-plus point per game scorers. If you take into account Miles' last season, that's pretty solid. Those 3 guys can combine for about 65 a night, and then you give Brandon Miller a few shots, get him to about 15 a game. Mark Williams is going to have 5 dunks a night, and he's going to average 10 points and 13 rebounds with 3 blocks. That's a solid starting lineup. Really solid. I think they all complement each other very well. Like I said, you've got the outside scoring, you've got the inside scoring. You got a little bit of defense, not too much defense. We still don't have that elite perimeter defender, but Mark Williams is a very, very good rim presence. Miles can guard probably 3 through 5, and then LaMelo is decent when he wants to be. Looking at the bench, like I said, I want to bring Kelly Oubre Jr. back. However, if we can't, I understand it. It's going to be Theo Maledon instead of Dennis Smith Jr. Sorry about that. I need to change that. Other than that, though, it is James Bouknight's make-or-break season here in Charlotte. Wouldn't be shocked to see Nick Smith Jr. sneaking his way into either the backup point guard or backup shooting guard role by the end of the year. That is 100% a chance of happening. PJ, honestly, at this point, might be the 6th man off the bench. He can honestly play the 3, the 4, the 5, so it works out. Nick Richards has been extended about 3 years, $15 million for him, so that's a solid contract for a backup center that can, vacuum up rebounds around the rim. And then we got Glass Bones and Paper Skin himself at the backup 3. Finally, the last year of Gordon's contract, so I can pull for him a little bit more now because if he keeps getting hurt, he's gone next year. But he's been solid when he does play. You got Bouknight. You got I forgot Cody Martin as well. Cody Martin could be the 6th man. It'll be PJ or Cody, and then Gordon or the other one as the 7th or 8th man. But you also got all the youth as well. Unfortunately, I don't know if any of this youth is ever going to pan out. But yeah, that's why I think the Charlotte Hornets will be a playoff team next year. Y'all let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Make sure to the like button and hit the subscribe button if you did enjoy it at any point. And if you made it this far in the video, obviously you did. So yeah, with that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video.